Over the past decade, commercial real estate has become one of the most popular alternative asset classes for investors across the world, which has resulted in a huge inflow of capital into the space and a tremendous amount of opportunity for people who want to work in the commercial real estate industry. But with all this growth over the last 10 years, we've also seen a significant uptick in the amount of private equity firms and institutions that have entered this sector and the amount of new companies that have been formed with the sole focus of investing in real estate, which can make it difficult for someone who's relatively new to the industry to navigate the different options out there when trying to get their start. So if you're watching this and currently in the process of trying to figure out the best companies to target to jumpstart your career, in this video, let's walk through how to find the biggest, most active, and most prestigious firms in the commercial real estate industry right now, and how to work backwards to find the companies that can have the biggest positive impact on your career. So I've mentioned this many times on the channel before, but when you're first getting started in commercial real estate, where you work matters a lot. Landing a full-time job or even an internship at a brand name institutional firm early on can open up a tremendous amount of doors for you in the industry long term. And if you're shooting to climb the ladder in the institutional space, starting out on that track in the beginning of your career is a huge factor in making that a reality. But in order to work for the biggest, most reputable firms out there, you first need to know which firms actually fall into that category and exactly where you need to go to head down this path. And since finding these companies isn't just as simple as doing a quick Google search for the biggest real estate companies in the world, I wanted to create a video that covers some of the more hidden methods that I found particularly relevant to the commercial real estate industry specifically, and how to find the best companies to work for depending on your goals. And the first place I'd recommend looking to narrow down your search for institutional brand name shops is to browse the rankings of industry-leading organizations that measure assets under management or the total amount of capital raised by commercial real estate firms. One of the most well-known, highly reputable sources of this is the PERE 100, which is an annual report published by PEREnews.com that tracks the total amount of institutional capital that has been raised by private equity real estate firms over the past 5 years. And if you're looking to find a company to work for that's at the top of the commercial real estate business right now, this list showcases some of the most prestigious, well-respected firms in the industry that pension funds, ultra-high net worth individuals, and family offices trust to deploy and protect their investment capital. And with companies on this list raising billions to purchase commercial real estate assets on behalf of their investor base, this means that these companies also need talent to be able to deploy that capital effectively, which often results in job opportunities in disciplines like acquisitions, asset management, and portfolio management within these firms. This report also shows the headquarters of each company on the list, which can be very helpful if location is a factor within your job search, and this can allow you to quickly narrow down on your options within the report depending on where you're currently based or the markets you're willing to move to. NAREIT, or the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts, is also a great resource to find large, institutional, publicly traded commercial real estate firms, and the site also breaks down a list of REITs by asset class. They showcase notable properties within each company's portfolio, and they also show the location of each company's headquarters, which can make this another helpful resource to narrow down your list. And if you're not interested in private equity or the REIT space, the CoStar Power Broker Awards can also be a great resource for you if you're interested in brokerage, and this list breaks down the top producing individuals and firms in various markets across the country, and even breaks this list down by product type as well. All of these resources can be great ways to get a sense for the firms that own the most real estate, manage the most capital, and or do the most deals in a given market. And with this information, you can then compile a list of potential companies to target and also narrow down this list based on what you want to focus on and where you want to work. Now, obviously, these resources are not all inclusive, and not every great company in commercial real estate is going to make one of these lists. And to find the firms that have an extremely strong reputation but may fall outside of the resources I just mentioned for any number of reasons, another great strategy to find some of the top producing, prestigious, and growing firms in the industry is to work backwards by leveraging the employment reports put together by top universities to find the companies that are actively recruiting and hiring from the most selective real estate master's degree and MBA programs across the country. To attract prospective students, graduate business degree programs will often put together a comprehensive annual employment report, which showcases things like salary and bonus statistics, where their graduates landed jobs, and the companies that recruited and hired graduates from the school. And since the best companies tend to recruit from the best universities, the firms listed on these reports tend to be some of the most desirable and prestigious firms to work for throughout the entire industry. Top schools with a dedicated master's in real estate program will often have a full or partial list of employers that either directly recruit at or have hired university graduates on their reports, and you can even look through employment reports from previous years at each school to add even more potential options to your list. The employment reports of top general MBA programs that tend to have a strong real estate presence can also be helpful resources to reference, and even though the reports won't be exclusive to one industry specifically, these reports do often include general private equity firms with a significant real estate presence, which could also represent some companies that might be worth looking into further. Now, even though employment reports and industry rankings can both be extremely helpful in identifying firms you might want to pursue, there are many great places to work in commercial real estate, and not all are going to be covered within these two categories, which leads me to my final recommendation on this list, where a little bit of extra digging comes into play, and this is to use LinkedIn search and related company pages to identify firms that fall outside of the resources that we just mentioned. Blackstone was at the top of the 2021 CRE 100 list, and while this is a dream company for many entrants into the commercial real estate industry, hiring at Blackstone is also incredibly competitive, and with 29,000 applications for just over 100 first-year analyst roles that opened up in 2021, your chances of landing a position at Blackstone last year were less than 1%. So to keep your search narrow, but to broaden your search to companies like Blackstone in the future, LinkedIn can be a great place to go to find related firms. When you visit a company's LinkedIn page, on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a box that says Pages People Also Viewed. And at the bottom of this box, if you click See All Similar Pages, this will bring up a list of 10 similar companies related to the firm you search for. Now, this tool is useful on its own, but when you combine browsing similar pages on LinkedIn with a resource like the CRE 100 list or another resource we mentioned earlier on in this video, this is where the functionality of this feature really starts to get powerful. For example, if you run a LinkedIn search for number 73 on the CRE 100 list, Bell Partners, which is a large multifamily investment firm, and click See All Similar Pages in the Pages People Also Viewed box, LinkedIn will automatically generate a list of 10 similar companies, many of which are even focused on the same asset class and business function as Bell Partners directly. And from there, LinkedIn really lets you dig into each company that you view, showing things like the number of employees, the location of each company's headquarters, and any recent news about the organization that could be indicative of where the firm is headed in the future. This process ultimately allows you to exponentially grow your search by viewing similar companies of similar companies of similar companies, which often leads to stumbling across different firms and job opportunities that you may not have even been aware of if you only referenced a major industry list. So if you're trying to land in the Ivy League of real estate firms after school and want to get a better sense for some of the most prestigious, well-respected, and well-capitalized firms in the industry, I hope this was helpful in narrowing down your search and choosing where you want to focus your efforts. And if you are trying to break into one of these top shops and want to make sure that you have the technical skill sets you'll need to successfully make it through the interview process, especially if an Excel exam is thrown your way, as always, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Break Into CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You'll get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, and you'll also get access to the Break Into CRE Analyst Certification exam, which covers topics like real estate pro forma and development modeling, commercial real estate lease modeling, equity waterfall modeling, and many other real estate financial analysis concepts that will help you prove to employers that you have what it takes to tackle the responsibilities of an analyst or associate at a top real estate firm. And if you like this video and want to see more content on this channel on the best companies in the industry to work for, make sure to hit the like button to let me know, and let me know in the comments if there are any other helpful lists or resources out there that you've used in the past. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.